consume, buy, purchase, critical, consume, sell out, stuff. It's cool to sell, consume, buy, sell out, advertising, consume, watch more content, buy, consume, sell out, be the product.
All right, we're starting over. I'm turning 30 and having a bit of a crisis, which is by no means a revolutionary concept. I think that's something that many people go through, especially people like me, just like white guys. Now that I'm turning 30, I really have this concern about doing something that is, I guess, meaningful is the word. And while making YouTube videos is very fun, and I think doing things that are fun is important, I have just lost all faith. Not that I ever had faith. It's actually just turned into a loathing towards big tech and AI and the clankers. I just hate them. And so making YouTube videos does come with a certain level of, oh, I have to create for this evil corporation. And that weighs heavy. And I also think we're just living in this space of, I think they call it monoculture, where everything just becomes one. Like, nobody's doing anything new. Not nobody. People are doing things that are new, but like collectively, the bulk consensus is like, oh, we're just going to remake things and we're just going to do things that work. And I've noticed it with myself in that now that I've made $100 on YouTube, there's this natural inclination to make things that have already proven to be successful. Like, oh, I made a video about datum washing and that did really well. I should just keep making camera related, editing related videos, even though that's not necessarily very fun. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I'm in the mood to make a video like that, but ultimately I'm not. So I think in being 30, part of what I'm aiming to do is be more intentional about making, hesitant to say the word art, but I do think that's what I'm trying to do more, as opposed to making content. Because I don't think making content is very fulfilling, especially when it doesn't do well and you don't make any money. No, but I mean, I think one of the bravest things you can do as we enter 2026 is make stuff that nobody wants to watch. I think with the way the creator economy works these days, everybody's trying to make stuff that can be accessible by the largest number of people. And I don't mean accessible in the traditional accessibility kind of way. I think if somebody wants to engage with something, they should be able to, regardless of, disability, income, that sort of thing. But I mean more in a taste kind of way, right? Like, I think we should be making stuff that doesn't appeal to everybody. Because I think when you make stuff that appeals to everybody, you make boring stuff, you make safe stuff. And that, is what the big corporations are doing, and we should differentiate ourselves from big corporations by making stuff that appeals to a very niche group of people. I think we should bring back making super niche, weird content. And that's what I'm going to do. Now that I'm turning 30, I'm going to make content that only appeals to a small group of people. So if you watch something that I do, and you're like, I don't get it, this is weird, this is dumb, this is bad, it's not actually that it's those things, it's just that you are on the outside. You haven't engaged with the work enough, you haven't bought in, you don't have the prerequisites to understanding the art that I'm making. You're not the target demographic. As I look back on my life so far, which I think is a normal thing to do when you turn 30, to reflect, I think there are a lot of times when I had opportunities to make really interesting or weird or creative things, and I just didn't do it, and I don't really think I have a good reason for not having done it. So now, as I'm entering my 30th year on this planet, and things are feeling weird, while also feeling very uninteresting, I think I'm going to lock in. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to do creative things. I'm going to do weird things. I'm going to really just try to be as creative as possible, I think. Because I think ultimately that's what feels good. And I think I want to be able to look back on the next 10 years and be like, I was doing creative things. I was hanging out with creative people. I wasn't I didn't act timidly because of some internal block. You know, I want to be able to say I was doing the most fulfilling things that I could be doing. I've created a website because I've been obsessed with the small internet lately, and I wanted to live separately online from the big corporations. And so I created a website. I'm just going to be posting pictures that I take, and also I'll be reblogging it to Tumblr if people are on Tumblr, but I'm not going to tell you my Tumblr because it's kind of risque and I don't really need that kind of attention. Gatekeeping in action. So yeah, the website, weird videos, just making art that feels good and feels cool, and not thinking about if lots of people are going to watch them, not thinking about the analytics, not thinking about the view count. It's going to be hard because the metrics really want you to do that. I just don't want to feel like I'm clocking in for Alphabet, for Google. And so I'm just going to make things for me, because that's the point at the end of the day. And I'm sorry if that means that you aren't going to like it. Turning 30 is crazy. I didn't think I was going to have big feelings about it, but I do.